Hi, hello, and welcome to Quantum Healing Hands Tarot. Today we are going to look at just kind of a little bit of what's going on right now. From what the blessings are in front of us to what's leaving our life and what's coming in, just a kind of general overlook of the next 30 days. So, these are the three piles we got. If you already know just from looking at them, the timestamps are down below. If you need a little bit more time, let's go ahead and get the breathing so we can relax and pick a pile. All right, we're gonna take 3 deep breaths. All right, now that we're nice and relaxed, we can go ahead and look at the 3 piles. In pile 1, we have Loki. In pile 2, we have Elhaz. And in pile 3, we have Ragnarok. So, you can pick from whichever one kind of stands out the most to you. I choose the technique of closing my eyes and asking my intuition which pile to pick, because I will typically see a number as if I was like staring at a bright light and I closed my eyes and that shape was still there. That's how I kind of see the numbers. And typically, the number is what I choose because that always seems to work out for me better than just kind of having a preference one over the other. So pick whichever way works best for you. Timestamps are all down below and I'll meet you there. Hi, Pile 1. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to bring you this reading about just kind of a general overlook of the next month. So the card you chose was Loki. I actually have 2 cards here for you, but this is the one that you chose. So Loki always kind of means to not take life so seriously, to kind of always find a way to keep things lighthearted. It helps. But in that same breath, to kind of, like the first line in the book says, develop your gifts of oration and clear speech. So what I'm getting is just kind of like that personality of someone who is fun, is charismatic, is lighthearted. Like nobody ever wants to be around someone who takes themselves too seriously. And so this could definitely be your energy. That could be how people see you. Very lighthearted. Or this could be who you are and you kind of want to get more in touch with, but maybe you've been taking life a little too seriously. And it's just kind of saying, life is meant to be lived happily. And then you got the rune Tewaz. And Tewaz is kind of about like working for the whole. It is a card about working, but that your hard work and sacrifices will pay off. So I think with whatever you're doing in your life right now, I think these cards are just kind of calling upon you to know that 1, what you're doing is working, and 2, to maybe just take it less seriously. Not that it isn't serious work, but it's always good to just have a lighthearted approach when you're doing things, because when things don't go our way, if we're taking it so seriously, we take that blame on ourselves, when sometimes when you put in the effort, it just doesn't equate. You keep going and you keep going forward and making the effort, and it will work out eventually. There could be an element of a legal matter going on with somebody, or going to be. There's somebody in your life who isn't what they seem, and it kind of may result in coming together and having to work something out. But this energy is that something new and exciting and beautiful is coming in, and that it's just wanting you to have faith that everything you're doing is gonna work out. Laugh more, love more, and just, even if there is a legal matter going on with somebody, it's just saying to trust the universe and take it a little bit more lightly, if that's possible. I think that's a very interesting combination. But that was just the overall energy for the pile. The question I asked first was, what blessing is in front of you that you actually can't see? I think the success for this is happening very soon. So there's definitely something happening in the next month that's gonna work out for you. Not only does this card say it, but that card says it, and this is saying it's like happening now. Action. With the Two of Cups here, I'm curious if this could be a divorce, if this could be or opposite, this could be a wedding. Whichever one of those is a success for you. But there's also an element of, there's just such a fun energy here that is coming from you, for sure. Like, you just have a very charismatic personality. People love having you around because you know how to joke about things. But you're action-oriented. And so I think people really appreciate that about you. But right, this is the blessing that you actually can't see. So that's interesting. You actually don't know that people see you like this. You are so lucky, and kind of everything you go after, you achieve. And that gives you sort of a certain, what's the word? Reputation is what's coming to me. So you have a good one. People really look at you as someone who's gonna do well in everything they attempt. Yeah, there's something coming in that is directly related to the Six of Wands and how people see you. So I think there's opportunities kind of all around you that you might not be noticing. There may be something kind of going on that's been distracting. I'm curious. There's some sort of like person or legal matter or thing that's kind of a nebulous of energy, if that's even a word. Does that make sense? It's what your focus is on. And it's like, if you were able to just give yourself this recognition, you would be, I think, moving forward a little bit faster than you are. It's kind of like I see you like sitting there drinking coffee, like, no, I got time. It's like, no, you don't. It's here now. Let's go. Ooh, I'm excited because I asked, like, I did ask more questions about it. So that's just what the blessing is that's in front of you right now that you can't see. That pretty much success is there for you. And it's happening for you. So I asked next, what negativity was leaving your life? So you're finally actually releasing this insecurity I think you've been having around your success. This fear of lack of success. I think it's kind of been in your head for a really long time. In your subconscious, I feel like you've actually been shifting out of that energy. And that's what this is saying. Like swift movement. Like something happened or is happening right now that's waking you up. Something is literally turning your world upside down, and it's kind of shaking out the crap. I think the part that you haven't been able to understand about yourself, you're finally understanding. I think you're finally going to be able to see this successful person, this person who gets ideas and goes after them. For a long time, you've kind of been in this very long night. Well, next, I wanted to know what good is coming in. So with the Four of Feathers reversed, this is usually when it's upright, it's about like rest and all that. But here I'm getting the message that like you're waking up. You're waking up from the confusion, from not knowing what's been going on. I feel like you've possibly been have felt maybe a little lost in where you were going. And like if it's been just nothing but night, let's just say hypothetically, in the path that you've been going on, and the only thing that's been giving you light is the moon, but we know the moon doesn't stay full every night. It gets dark. And so you've probably been in this time where it was a new moon per se, and no light was in the sky. A very dark night when our moon is hidden in the full shadow of Earth. I see that you're waking up. I see that you're starting to accept who you are. Like maybe you've been made to feel wrong about who you are, and so you've just been kind of in this struggle. And you're really just accepting that you know yourself and your drive is unmatched. I don't think you had this drive before. Yeah, like I said, I don't know, like something happened, like you became a werewolf for the first time kind of thing. Like something happened that made you just very aware of who you are and what you're capable of. with the Eight of Acorns reversed, which is actually Eight of Wands, here, since this is what good is coming in, it's just saying, because here, you know, Four feathers, you're waking up. You've kind of been at a standstill, which is actually really, really good. When you don't know where you're going, don't go anywhere. And I'm really proud of you for knowing that. So you've been working to find out your passion, or, you know, just in general where you're going in life. And maybe it's just kind of been overwhelming. Some event has been happening that has maybe made you feel not ready to move forward. And you've kind of been working for the greater good for a long time. And I think maybe you've been putting energy into a certain person or a certain place that isn't actually going to give you back what you've been putting out. But karma still is always working out. So when you are just doing good, good's going to come back to you. And whatever this has been has kind of consumed your awareness to how successful you already are. Maybe because your idea of success is like the dollar amount in the bank account. But if you have the ability to even dream to move forward, that in itself is such a win. And you're already so far ahead of people who don't even dare to dream. This to me just feels very connected to how the planets, they shift all the time. But this feels very much to me like the planet, it's just a part of the cycle, and you're coming out of that confusing time that you couldn't have avoided even if you wanted to, because it was a collective consciousness thing. So I truly believe you are discovering who you are and learning to love yourself for who you are and all of your dreams. You're finally seeing that, like, people see you as a driven, successful, has all the potential in the world type of person. You're waking up. You're no longer going to be at a standstill. Like, Eight of Wands twice is insane. Like, it's happening now. And I think that's kind of what you wanted. I kind of get the feeling from this pile that maybe you've really wanted to be moving forward, but I also feel you sat and you talked about it over coffee for a long, long time. And it's time to go. The moon is full. We ride. We ride at dawn. I don't know what that's from. Last question I asked was how to make the best out of the next month. So you got another moon cycle. The moon will go away again. You're in an illuminated place right now. So what do we do to get to the next month? This combo right here is just saying, I think it's time to wrap up something that you have been working on. Like, kind of just wrap up a project, maybe put the finishing touches on it. There's an idea you've been kind of sitting on that literally, like, okay, for example, I started a picture of a friend of mine who passed away many years ago. And I kind of had this thought in my head and this standard of how I needed to finish it. And I honestly worked on it for years. And just recently I pulled it out and I was looking at it and I realized the picture was done. The picture was already done. I just had to kind of erase the lines that were around the background. I'm finishing up a frame. Like, I painted a frame to put it in. It's a nice big picture. I see that there's kind of a project that you've already finished and you've just kind of put it aside because maybe you didn't believe in it before. But pull that out, whatever it is, and I think finish up something that you were afraid to finish. Because this is about new beginnings. So that's what it's like. I think there's something you want to put out there, and I'm encouraging you to finish that, because when you do that, you're going to clear up so much space inside of your soul because you completed a project. So the best way to make the next month is that find the projects that you haven't finished and be ready and excited to start another one, because this is about like collecting the harvest. There's some sort of cycle that is ending, and to me that's the cycle of not knowing your full potential. Like, literally I hear like, you've been sleeping on yourself. You know, usually like people say that, like, oh, you've been sleeping on me. Like, you've been sleeping on yourself. I don't think you have even I wish you could like type it in, get like an online quiz of like a quantifiable number of how likely you are to succeed. If you saw your numbers, and especially compared to like the rest of the world, you would be like, oh, everyone out of my way. I'm on my way to success. If you believe in it, everybody's going to see it, because everyone already like does believe it. But if you do, and I think you are, this is what's leaving your life. Illusion and fear. Being afraid, not trusting your instinct and what path you're on. You've been kind of dealing with something really big for a long time. And these cards are just saying like, just take life a little bit easier, laugh a little bit more, and know that what you've done and who you are going to have so much good karma coming back to you. So pick up that project that you haven't wanted to finish and go ahead and finish it. Believe in yourself. You've been sleeping on yourself. You have been kind of at a standstill for a while, probably because of whatever's been going on. And it's just kind of time to take your power back. It's about you. You only get one life. And if you're not taking care of you, and if you're not happy, you can't be there fully for other people. So let's see if there's anything else. This was just kind of a reading about, like, the card I pulled for the general energy when I was trying to like figure out what to do for the pile was, I got the card, I wonder if it's right on top. I got this one. Yggdrasil, Basil, Yggdrasil. Anyways, sorry. So this is basically like the tree of life. And to me, that was just saying like, I want to help you know where your actions and your life affect the tree of life, because we're all connected. And the truth is if you are following your passions and creativity, we need your art, we need your love, we need your creativity and what you want to put out into the world, because that is what brings this world more love and happiness. And so it's a good time to work on all of this. Finish that little project up, get ready for the new ones to come in. I'm really excited for you. You're waking up. Start doing like daily affirmations. They're a really good way to start reprogramming your mind. And I think it's just kind of time to tell yourself every day, like, I am successful. I accomplish all of my dreams. I am a good person. Good things happen to me, for me, that kind of stuff. Because what we think repeatedly becomes our reality. And maybe that's been what you've been doing for some time and it's an easy spiral to fall down. Like, it's like stairs. You trip down one, you tend to go down a few more. So rarely do we trip on one stair and just stop. And that's kind of negative thinking. So it's okay if you've fallen a little bit. Catch yourself. But it's time to keep on climbing. I think that's a good, clear message for the next 30 days. Just believe in yourself. You are awakening to the amazing, strong, wonderful creature that you are. Pile 1, thank you so much for letting me channel your energy. As always, it is such a blessing and an honor. Know that you have so much goodness right in front of you. You have everything you need leaving and everything you need coming in. So the bad's out, the good's in. And I'm really happy for you. So thank you so much, Pile 1. If you like this message, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. That lets me know that my messages are working for you. And if you loved it, I would just love for you to subscribe and be a part of my channel. This has been an absolute amazing journey, and I would just love for you to be a part of it. So I hope you all have a great day. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to bring you this message that is kind of just looking over the next month. So you chose Elhaz. This is a very, very powerful rune that is used for protection. It is all about being courageous, that whatever you're going through right now, whatever fear from what you're experiencing is a part of courage. And like, how can you be brave for something if you aren't afraid? If you aren't afraid of something, then it's not really being brave, is it? So there's something that you are really having to use a lot of courage with right now. It says, respect others' properties and boundaries. Step forward and do what is right, and even if others do not. So there's something going on right now. And so you got 2, actually. And they're both these cards are about taking action. This one is much more about like the flow of nature and just kind of working with the rhythm of life. This one also talks about having a deep connection with plants and animals. So there's some sort of natural cycle going on in your life that it's just really trying to acknowledge that you have your spirits and ancestors right now supporting you. That is what this is saying, that whatever you're going through and whatever you're needing to move forward on, that you might be really afraid to move forward on, you have all your angels and spirit guides behind you right now. Every ancestor whose blood is running through your veins is with you. I like that. So Ehwaz is actually a rune about now and being in the present moment, which I love because that's exactly what I wrote. That's how I described this reading when I was trying to figure it out, was literally I wrote the word being present. So there's definitely something going on right now in your life that you have to kind of keep your attention on, and that may be something you are dealing with. All right. So let's move forward, because that's just the general overall energy for the next month. So the first question I asked was, what blessing is in front of you that you cannot see? Interesting. This is very interesting. Because these cards are just kind of saying, like, you have a lot of good energy in front of you. You have really, you've worked towards something and you have created something really beautiful. And it's just saying you might not even be aware of all you've really done. I think it's just saying, like, you are so close to succeeding and you might not even know it. I've been trying to straighten this card out forever. Oh darn, and then I always make it worse. I think you're a lot closer to your success than you believe. And that may be where your fear kind of is that you've just been kind of afraid that where you're going, you're not going to get there. Like, I kind of just see like you're riding on like a horseback and it's foggy. You know, you don't have to be riding too quickly, but that could be very, very scary, riding through the fog and not seeing what's ahead, because you might be afraid of cliffs and all these other things. And so it's like, yeah, what you're doing right now is taking great bravery, because you're going down a path that I don't think anyone ever laid out for you. I think you're going after a career or a life that no one showed you how to do it. And so you've been afraid for so long of, are you doing it right? Should you give up? And this is actually literally saying, like, don't give up. Don't give up. You are so close to completing, not completing, that's not the word. You are so close to obtaining what you have been going after for so long. If you keep working at something and you keep improving and you keep studying, you will get to where you want to go. It's kind of this thing of don't self-sabotage by thinking, oh, well, there's no point in studying or trying to improve myself because it's not going to happen. Well, it's not going to happen if you don't study and try and improve yourself. So this card is all about, I think you have the ability to improve your technique and what you're going after. Everyone's heard of, YouTube University. You can learn anything on the internet today. Anything for free. And if you want to pay a little bit, oh my God, you can just endless amounts of information. So I think you're just going on you're forging a new path, and that is scary. But this card is just saying be present because you're almost there. So don't get distracted with the future. Don't be future tripping and don't be thinking about the past. Just think about now and what you're doing now. That's awesome. I asked what negativity is leaving your life. I think you've been kind of really hung up on your past, because a few of these cards are saying that, and I think that's I think you're moving on from that. I think a lot of the doubt you had about what you wanted to do is leaving. You're waking up. You are just like, oh, why was I not thinking I could do it? Yeah, I think it's just, this is saying all the times you weren't learning a lesson. They say a lesson will keep showing up in your life until you learn it. You're finally learning those lessons. You're finally understanding oh, I have to pick up that book and read it. I can't just buy a book on how to be an actor and just be I'm going to be an actor and take no action on that. I think you're finally oh, okay, I guess I haven't put in the full amount of effort. You are where you are because you got yourself there. As far as you are and as not far as you are. I think you're finally embracing that you're having to really be brave. Going after your dreams is scary because a lot of the times what we want to go after is not easy to obtain. A lot of the times we're told that those dreams are too big. So I think you're finally realizing you're almost there. All you have to do is look at what you've accomplished, and that will very quickly make you see how far you've come. Just think about 10 years ago. Where were you? Are you the same person you were then now? No, of course not. Yeah, you're finally realizing that life is more about how you are responding to something than what's happening to you. So you're taking a lot of responsibility. So next I asked what good is coming in for you. So the Temperance reversed. I love this deck. Just gorgeous, huh? So the Temperance reversed is, to me, it's just saying like, you're finally looking at the bigger picture of everything. You realize that like, if you're thinking negative, it's only going to kind of create a negative atmosphere, and a negative atmosphere is going to create negative results. So I think you're finally understanding that like, oh, maybe my way of thinking has been maybe affecting my entire life. And so this, I think I mentioned it again. Yeah, it's just, so the two things I described this reading as was the Tree of Life and being present. So this to me connects to the Tree of Life element, that you're finally seeing that what you do is connected to everything. So the way you think to yourself will affect everything. So you're, I think, finally having the weight of your actions. You know, you can't like pour poison in the ground and not expect the tree to die. You have to fill yourself with good thoughts and good energy so you can thrive all around. And I think you're finally understanding that. You have this really exciting energy coming in, just like you are laying this burden to rest of how you used to judge yourself. Like, I really see that you would try and make an effort towards something, and if it wouldn't work out the first time, you'd kind of like tear yourself apart. And what I think you're learning is being kind to yourself is what's being brave. That's courageous, is moving forward and loving yourself, even when you're not, you know, the super successful version of yourself that you want to be. So you're coming into this new energy of just like loving yourself and understanding yourself and being your biggest supporter. It's just kind of that thing of like, yeah, use daily affirmations to like really like bring that part of you alive, because there's such an energy that is wanting to come alive. And by being present, you will be happier, because they say depression is when you're focused on the past, and anxiety is when you're focusing on the future. So just enjoy the now. Use the now moment to prepare for your future. Like the 8 of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles is your blessing that you can't see right now. You let this reading wake that up. And that's what it's saying. Like literally it's so spelt out here repeatedly. Like you have all the skill you need right in your hands to be the most successful version of you. You've been very judgmental on yourself for a long time, and you're finally realizing like, oh, okay, so how I start my day will directly impact the rest of my day. And so it does take a certain amount of like courage to break your bad habits and change your cycle. But if you do it, I mean, look at Joey. 2 awards, 9 pentacles, like come on. This is what you can't see, that you actually are the talented and fully equipped person that you've always wanted to be. and you're just kind of breaking out of old ways of thinking. I think you're finally able to, I hear, just get out of your own way, get out of your own emotions. Like, I think you've been so sad for so long about maybe your lack of perceived success. And you're just finally coming into this energy of like, okay, fine, I get it. It's me. Because it's all about your mental state. And I think you're finally understanding that. You've been very emotional. I think everything you've been going after means more to you than you can even describe. And fully going after that takes courage. Because you're like, well, what if I go after it and I try and I don't succeed? It's like, well, if you are going out and putting effort in, learning, improving yourself, it's not possible. You're going to succeed. It's the people who put in like this much effort and then are like, I don't know why everything hasn't just fallen in my lap. So I asked how to make the best of the next month. Oh my God, look at you. Look at you. I see a couple things for this month for you. For starters, I think it's going to be really important for you to actually give out your generous energy this month of just outpouring of love. I feel like you are kind of needing a little bit more love, and a good way to do that is by sending out love. It gets the cycle going. And I think there's kind of a need for a creative outreach or something. Like, I just see you going to like an outdoor like, not a huge festival, I'm not saying go to Coachella or anything right now. I'm saying like I see like just a day in the music in the park, something like that, something local. But just getting out and enjoying love. Like, this card is just all about the essence of love. And yeah, it's, you're I think in need of like maybe going on a date, maybe even just with a friend or something. But like, I'm definitely getting that energy, Lil. I'm definitely getting that energy to treat yourself. Enjoy a day. Just doing something fun. Something just fun. Something that you will kind of refocus you to what you are going after. So whatever that may be, like sometimes when I go to the movies, I get really inspired. Sometimes just going out into nature, but this is saying just bring a little bit more love into your life in the next month. Because you, I think, have been a little bit harsh on yourself. And, you know, if we're critical about ourselves, we're very critical about other people then. And I think it's time to just be a little less critical of not only yourself, but your loved ones. And so I think it's just time to kind of like just maybe forgive yourself for being very emotional about things for a while, and just start to see that maybe it's just been a planetary thing. It's just been a moon cycle thing. It's just whatever it is. Truthfully, you've just wanted to succeed, and that's completely understandable. But this is just saying, just be present in the now, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You could, if you lost, like, just know that tomorrow's never promised. So these cards, all of these cards are just saying, just exist in the moment. Tell the people who you love that you love them. If you've been distant, contact some people and just let them know what you've been going through. Because most people are going through it, honestly. It's a collective consciousness. So everyone, for the most part, should understand if they're doing any sort of self growth. So I think you're finally coming to understand the way you think, the way you think will create your reality. And so I think you're just kind of excited to like live life again a little bit more excited, a little bit more energetically. And yeah, there's a element to like doing something with nature. I think that will really reinvigorate your spirit. I think that'll bring you the actual, like, you know, walking through the woods is so good because it's like the energy particles are charged in a certain way that really help you cleanse your energy. So that's one suggestion. Just be courageous because you're almost there. I think you're finally like forgiving yourself for how you've judged yourself so harshly. Like maybe you aren't as far as you wanted to be by now, but you're actually far, far further along than you even know. So just spread the love this month. It's all coming back to you. You have a really good return headed your way. So pile 2, I just thank you so much for letting me channel your energy and being here. It is always such a great blessing to be able to bring you a message. And it looks like the next 30 days is just all about waking up to all your potential and knowing that you are kind of walking through the fog right now, and you may be a little afraid because you can't see where you're going, but trust your intuition. You are actually doing everything right, and give yourself a little bit more love. That's really all that you need. You have everything you need. Just love yourself a little bit more and share that love. It'll come back to you tenfold. So thank you, Pile 2, for being here. If you like this message, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. It lets me know that the reading is rocking. I'm doing good. And if you love the message, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my channel. This has been an absolutely amazing journey, and I just really appreciate you being here today. I hope you all have a great day. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to bring you this message of kind of just looking at the next month and what's going on, what the energy is. So you chose Ragnarok. So yeah, you're coming up on the end of a very difficult cycle. So I'm really happy for you because this is you know, this is not a small cycle. This is something pretty big. Ragnarok is basically like the end stage of the cycle. It's not Armageddon, but it is a form of what is it? Basically, it's just one of the many cycles that it goes through. So this is not like an end all be all, but oh, right. The fact that you got both of these are both about that. Yeah, this is just saying that everything you've been working towards, you're actually going to succeed with. You are going to receive all the rewards for what cycle is ending. Jeez. The rain. Let the rain go down and we Yeah, these cards are just saying, like, no matter how hard everything is right now, it will end soon, and you will you'll be the one to reap the benefits. So the first question I asked was, what blessing is right in front of you that you can't see? So there's definitely some future movement that you might not even see yet. Like, I feel like whatever this cycle is that's coming to an end is actually bringing in new opportunities that you aren't even expecting, to be honest. And I think it's this is really a test of like faith and resilience that you've been going through, this cycle that's coming to an end. I think it has made you so strong that it's bringing in new opportunities for your future because, you know, one door closes, another opens. So I think you've been in a cycle of life that is bringing a whole new future that I don't think it's kind of that, like, I'm hearing that in a year from now, like, this is for the next 30 days, but I'm hearing in a year from now, your life is going to be completely different than it was before. I wonder if you are not in a relationship yet, you will be in a year from now. Kind of that cycle of the single life, I think, is over. And what's kind of cool is I don't think you think that. I have a feeling that you're kind of like, oh, don't worry, that's not happening for me. And it's that idea that, like, once you stop looking towards something, it finally happens for you. Like, I feel like you've been wanting your lobster for so long that you finally gave up because it just felt like it wasn't happening for you. Like, maybe just relationships weren't working out. And so that's ending. That really stressful time in your life is finally ending. You're reaping the rewards of everything you've done. You've become the person who will be perfect for your partner. You guys are going to be perfect together. And so, and the chance that you already are in a relationship, let's say you're already happily married and you already found your lobster. So what I'm seeing is that a cycle you have been going through as a couple is coming to an end. Something very just many, many years of work and what you guys have been. Let me look at that real quick. So if you are in a relationship, I think what you're finally coming to is emotional balance with your partner. I feel like, you know, it's not hard to see that the world has been going through a very difficult 3 years. And I feel like you've kind of made it through that time with your partner, and you guys are now stronger than ever. You are now moving on to a new stage of existence that is very rewarding. So whatever it is you guys have been working towards, I feel like is finally here. Like you finally have put in all the work and the doors are opening to the future you guys have been envisioning for so long together. So so that's the blessing that you can't even see right now. So you have opportunities just headed your way because you've been working your butt off with your lover. And if you don't have a lover, you're going to meet this lover because of all the work that you've done on yourself. So the next card I asked is what negativity is leaving your life? You're finally, whatever this disconnection is. So if you've been single, that's finally leaving. Like the lack of harmony in your life is leaving. Whatever stress there ever was putting on this couple is leaving. Everything is just like, that's the position you want that card in this question. This is what's leaving your life. You have been working towards something together that has probably kept you up at night a lot. I feel like you guys have been working towards something and you're finally going to see it showing up. Yeah, if you're single, I finally see like you... Right, because I was seeing that if you are single, you've probably had stronger feelings for a lot of your partners than they did for you. And so it's been kind of that really awful feeling of rejection. But if you reflect, every one of those rejections taught you something about yourself and who you want to be and who you want to be with. So... And if you are in a couple, this is just saying that the stress between the couple is done. That cycle of stress and fighting and crap is done. You guys have finally like evolved as a couple and have gone through so much that you're like, it's okay to have disagreements. It's okay to argue. It's not okay to treat each other poorly. And so as long as you're always treating each other fairly and listening, you are coming into such a good place. Yeah, I love that. If you're married, it's just saying that any sort of thing that was causing, and it doesn't have to be marriage, but in a committed relationship, it's saying that that time is done, that confusion, that disconnect is done. And all it's bringing is new opportunities. And if you haven't found your love, you will. You're finally going to find them because you stopped looking. What did I ask next? What is the good that's coming in? You're finally moving on from constrictive energies. Shadow reversed. It says, you need not be weighed down by an unhealthy situation. Break free from constrictive energies that hold you back. I don't think you are in an unhealthy situation anymore. I think you are finally moving on from that. And honestly, it's the world as a whole has kind of been in a mental vice grip. And I see you finally have won the battle, and you've unlocked endless possibility. I think you've been the one maybe limiting yourself through limiting beliefs. Maybe you just truly were like, oh, we'll never get past this point. I'll never find a lover. My lover and I will never get along. Like, yeah, if you think that, then that's going to be true. But that crap's behind you. You have such a beautiful future ahead. You are living so, like, I think a lot of couples realize when they stop putting pressure on each other and expectations, you're free to be yourself. And I think maybe you've been putting a lot of expectations on yourself. If you're single and haven't been able to find that one, you definitely could be at this place of just forgiving yourself for any sort of setbacks. You're your own worst critic, and maybe that's what's been holding you back from finding a partner. No. So the last question I had was how to make the best out of the next month. The energy I'm kind of getting from this one, from the King of Wands, it's this energy of like, I don't chase, I attract. So it's not about like creating something or like coming up with an idea. It's about like knowing what you want and creating the environment around you to exist. So if you need to create an environment for you and your partner to be closer, then, you know, I think that's important. Set up a date together. Do something that you know your partner has wanted you to do. Or if you are finally ready to attract, it's like, stop looking for a partner. Just put yourself together in the way that you want your partner, the person you want your partner to be attracted to. So over the next month, I see this as kind of more just about like, what's the word? Just kind of, what's the word? Facing challenges head on, maybe. This guy's just saying, you have so much more control over your situation than maybe you know. And a lot of it has to do with, I think this is just saying like you have so much more control over your life than a lot of people are aware of. And I think you're finally gonna understand that, you know, sad times are just a short period. The good times, those memories last a lot longer and can really override any bad situation. That's how people sometimes stay in bad situations, because the second they have a good experience, everything feels good again. So it's like, know the difference. If you're in an unhealthy situation, don't let one good experience be like, this is why I'm staying. No. But that's not the energy coming from this pile. This pile is like, you have been going through a really, really rough time of, honestly, a lot of it I think has been more of a mental state. And so I think you finally are seeing like, yeah, maybe it's just been a little bit about like instant gratification for so long. So like you would meet somebody who you would want it to work right away, or you know, you and your partner are working towards something and you just haven't quite understood why it hasn't fully like manifested. And it's just important to know, like, to be emotionally stable in these uncertain times and just to keep moving forward. Everything you're doing is creating a stronger structure. So don't ever try and rush what you're going through. Yeah, I think maybe there's been a little bit of an obsession of control. And like I said, this guy is far more about I don't chase, I attract. And so when we get into a calm mental state, that's when we're able to make huge changes. So I think it's important for you to maybe find some meditations and just find something that you can listen to that's going to help you change your mind frame to I don't chase, I attract. Because the cycles you've been going through, all the stress and crap you've been going through has been for something. I think you're finally realizing you are right where you're supposed to be. Because sometimes it's this interesting dynamic of by rejecting where you are and resisting it, you're only like keeping yourself there. So it's this interesting thing of like, find a way to accept where you are and start just mentally changing the picture around you. Know that you and your partner deserve balance and equality and love and the future that you guys are going after. Know that every fight is actually bringing you closer, not ripping you apart. As long as you're always being respectful and so forth. But this to me is not saying anything about you guys. This is far more about like the mental state you've been in. And I think you've just been going through a really rough couple years, maybe 3 years. And so a lot of the planets and everything's changing right now. This is a timeless reading, but where the planets are right now when I'm doing this reading is everything's changing to kind of switch our perspective. And that's what a lot of this is saying, is like you're moving out of you're moving out of the situations that really limited you and I think stressed you out more than you needed. I think you're kind of coming to a place of acceptance. It's kind of ironic, like you have to accept your situation to change your situation. It's like knowing the reality you're in and then taking that knowledge and then tuning into what you want to be in. So if you don't know where you're at, it would kind of be hard to know what needs to change. If you think you're in a like super healthy place and you're not, how are you supposed to get out of that? So interesting. I think this card just reminds you to remain confident in what you guys are doing. You guys as a couple or you guys as a pile. So you're succeeding at what you're going after. I think it's just been maybe a little bit rougher of a ride than you expected. So whatever struggles you've been going through, they're coming to an end. I really see you bringing in the love that you've been wanting. You're finally feeling like secure in that. This is a very secure card. So you have kind of won the battle. You're reaping all the rewards. Everything you've been going after is coming towards you. And I love that for you. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's it. That you're coming out of a really rough time, and it has, the fact that you literally have 2 cards representing the end of that cycle, and that cycle being the Lovers reversed, is getting out of here. So all that like imbalance, whether it's in your relationships or in yourself, is done. You're no longer restricting yourselves. You're finally allowing yourself to see the future. And I think you have gained so much confidence because of all this that it's like, that's honestly all you need. Confidence is everything, let me tell you. So, pile 3, thank you so much for letting me channel your energy. This was such a lovely, cohesive reading from beginning to end, honestly. So I just hope that you were able to receive the message. I hope it helped. If you need any more clarification on things, I have plenty of readings you could go check out that can answer, honestly, any of your questions. So thank you so much, Pile 3, for being here. If you liked this message, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. That lets me know that it's working. And if you love this message, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my channel. It has been such a blessing, and honestly, I can't imagine doing anything else. So I really appreciate y'all being here, and I hope you have a great day.